Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be running the Potts Mountain Jeep Trail in Virginia.
It's going to be legend, wait for it, dairy.
So the three of us are out here in Virginia. We just did the Triple Crown hike, and basically this Jeep Trail is about an hour away from that hike. It's like, hey, if we're going to be here, we might as well knock it out. So I saw a couple YouTube videos on it. It does look pretty challenging in spots, so, but we're here, we're gonna do it. Potts Mountain Jeep Trail is an off-road route located in the Jefferson National Forest in Virginia. This is a point-to-point route that is approximately 7 miles in length. Hard bottoms. So we're only half a mile into this trail, and so far it's a lot of fun, a lot of off-camber stuff. Nothing too difficult, but yeah, so far we're having a good time. The first 2 miles of this trail is not anything difficult. You can pretty much accomplish this section in any standard four-wheel drive. Yeah, look at that mud. Yeah, I'll pass on going through that, but it's nasty. Alright, well this looks a little bit more interesting. So at 2.5 miles in, we've actually gotten to a section that looks a little challenging. So we're going up what I would consider the first major obstacle on this trail. It's an uphill with some off-camber sections, and then it kind of cuts into the left towards the top. Flip the fender a little bit.
What a scratch.
KBD for the win! Alright, a little over 2.5 miles in. It's definitely getting quite a bit rockier through here. Still nothing that, you know, the Jeep can't handle, so we're just going to keep pressing on. The Potts Mountain Jeep Trail is not only an off-road trail that is fun and challenging, but it is downright beautiful in some areas. We are soon approaching our next major obstacle. It looks okay.
Really? Take a step down there just so we can see how steep that is.
It's a little bit of a drop, but...
I mean, belt high. Well, I'm going to say you can do it.
I mean, it can be done. I just got to figure out which angle I want to come in at. This obstacle wasn't necessarily hard. You basically got to go with gravity. You'll eventually find yourself on the bottom of the hill. Once you leave that rocky descent, you kind of get into this little rock bed area that goes uphill and then over some really big rocks.
That'll do.
Sometimes you just gotta stack a rock or two just to get over an obstacle.
Building bridges.
Hey, first try.
Now on to some harder stuff.
So this obstacle here is definitely going to be the hardest so far. It's just some big rocks to get up.
You're hung up on this side on that big rock.
I tried this climb several times, taking several different lines. However, I just kept getting high center on one massive rock under my skid plates.
Is there something in front of me?
Probably a rock.
Alright, I'll get out and look.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Probably a rock.
Yeah, it's a big rock. After assessing the situation, it was clear to me that I wasn't going anywhere without pulling line. The tree that my winch was attached to kept pulling me further and further to the passenger side, and I was teetering on this rock to the point where it was a little uncomfortable, so we had to get straightened out a little bit.
What about that rock right there?
It's round.
I mean, really, it just needs to straighten me out. Let me see that there, Tim.
Yeah, that might work, dude.
I would only recommend doing what I'm doing here as long as you're running a synthetic line and not a steel cable.
All right, chances for success?
50%.
50% of the time.
It works
How we
every
looking, Tim?
time.
There we go.
Good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You think I could drive off it now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Tires hung up on it, but I don't think it's bad.
Okay. That was a little sketch.
That was. It was close on that rock, man. It was close.
Coming down. All right, he made it over. Sitting right on a spare tire, though. Trail evaluation.
The first 3 miles is super easy, and then you get to this rock section that we had to winch through this last part here because there's this huge rock that we got high centered on. We originally went to this tree, but we got too far over to the passenger side, so we had to get on a winch to a rock up there just to even ourselves out. But we got it. It just took some doing. I think, if I'm correct, that was like the hardest part.
We soon found out that there were more difficult obstacles in this trail, however, they could be bypassed.
All right, so that section that we just went through, we're at the 2.8 mile marker. That section gets really, really tough, and that's probably why a lot of people say don't do this trail alone, just because that one section right there, you know, if we didn't have a winch, I think we would have been SOL. You gotta learn to embrace all the banging and scraping.
Right. Well, embrace the banging and scraping. Not sure that's words to live by, but that's the words.
trail definitely got a lot more interesting. All right, we are at mile marker 3.4, 3.5, right around there. Halfway through the trail, and this is where it opens up into that big wide open field. All right, so we did hang out at that meadow area right on the top of the mountain for about an hour. Josh took a nap. You know, we just kind of hung out and had some lunch, and yeah, now we're just getting back on the trail.
As you leave the meadow on the top of the mountain, you basically run into more of the rock area. However, a lot of these areas can be bypassed. Well, not everything can be bypassed, but you get the idea. This area here is a good example that if you don't first get over an obstacle, back yourself up, realign yourself, and try a different line. A lot of times that's all it takes.
At 4.1 miles, we come to a bifurcation in the trail. The left looks more well-traveled. I'm gonna pop out real quick though and take a look at both of them and see what looks best. All right, where the trail splits around the 5 mile mark, 4.5 mile mark, you can go left or right. And I think we're gonna go right, just because this obstacle here, if I was in a Wrangler, you know, or a shorter wheelbase vehicle, I think it could probably be doable. I mean, maybe even with a Gladiator with a bigger lift. But, I mean, this is what we're looking at. I mean, that's just asking for trouble. My departure angle on the Gladiator is not going to clear this at all, so I think we're going to bypass this. What do you think?
I don't see anything so far that would scare me.
All right, you do it. You pay for damages.
There's no way.
Well, I mean, the thing that's scary too
Gosh, man.
are the trees. Because like your passenger side is going to kick you to the driver, which is going to put the whole cab of the vehicle. You can tell people have been hitting that tree with their vehicles.
Well, just look at Josh standing next to how high that rock is.
Yeah. Josh, how tall are you? Like 6 foot?
5'10".
You're 6 foot.
You're not 5'10".
Well, it's up to your waist. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to bypass this little part. Not as bad as that.
No, you can if you change your mind towards the top, switch over to it.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, that obstacle, I mean, even in my JK, I think that would have been a struggle. I mean, that just, it's all rutted out. Super off camber, trees on the one side that you're gonna roll your body into. Just not worth it. Especially in an overland built rig like this. I mean, this can do some rocks, but not rocks like that.
I'm not bad-mouthing the Gladiator in any way. It is an exceptional off-road vehicle, but you just have to know your limitations. the bypass wasn't super simple, as evidenced by the big bang you'll hear right about now.
Young boy, 2 hands on the wheel.
These metal cloak skid plates I cannot recommend enough, and I would probably not do any trails like this without them.
So when you guys get past the halfway point on this trail, past that meadow, there are several obstacles that you can do, but there's also bypasses for them. Whereas in the first part of the trail, you got to do all the hard obstacles because there's really no bypasses. For example, Tim, you want to show them that one there?
Sure thing.
Yeah, I know on camera it doesn't look hard, but we're not doing that in the Gladiator. Could it be done? Maybe, but we got to drive this home. This is definitely one of those trails that once you get to the rocky stuff, I mean, you're just crawling through it 1 to 3 miles an hour, I would say, on average. And that's why they say this trail does take a while to get done. I've read anywhere between 4 and 7 hours is average. We're going at a pretty good clip right now. We are at mile marker 4.5. It's 7 miles in total, so we got a couple more miles to go. All right, guys, so we are at the 5 mile marker in the Jeep Trail, the Top Mountain Jeep Trail here. And it's smooth right out. So all the rocks and everything are behind us now. And for the first couple miles, there's no rocks either. I think it was like the 2.5 mile mark where all the rocks started, and like at the 5 mile mark where they ended. So we only got a couple miles of, like, you know, really hard obstacles, but man, they're a lot of fun.
The last couple miles of this trail were a lot easier and very scenic.
Sorry, Josh, you can't do any hang gliding today. right, 7.3 miles in total. All right, guys, that is the end of the Potts Mountain Jeep Trail. It took us approximately 5 hours to do it. However, we did sit at the very top for like an hour and just, you know, had some lunch or whatever. So really, it only took us 4 hours to do the trail. Plus, we were stopping to film, setting up tripods. You know, if we weren't doing all of that, we probably could have knocked it out in 3 hours or so. If you're in the area, I would highly recommend it. It was a very enjoyable trail. I had a lot of fun with it. What'd you think, Tim?
Very cool.
Yeah?
Very scenic.
Oh, it was beautiful at the top. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a spot right at the top where you can get up on this bluff and just, you have like a 360-degree view of like the entire surrounding area. It's beautiful. So anyway, we are going to air up here and hit the road and head back to Michigan. But that's going to be the end of this video. So thanks for watching it, and we will catch you guys in the next one.